Well, good morning. How are you all today? And welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. For any of the new folks coming by, don't know who I am. It's good to have you. Welcome. I think you'll like this channel if you're really serious about preparedness. Going to talk today about jacks and masters. You know that saying about jack of all trade, master of none, right? Well, we'll talk about that. First off, a couple of things. Like I say, I just got home, had a great trip. Had a wonderful trip down to Tennessee, and a little bit of North Carolina, a little bit of Georgia, North Georgia. Glad to get home. A couple of good things happened while we were gone. I should say also before we get into this that usually I'll shoot the videos for Patreon first, and then I'll do the one for the main YouTube channel. I'm going to do it differently today. I'm going to shoot this one for YouTube, and then the others. And today, and for those of you who don't know what we do on Patreon, we put a lot of extra stuff over there. And it's not just from me, but from our community members, our patrons. They put a exceptional stuff. Tom Usher sent me a message the other day that I asked his permission to read it, and I'm going to later. I don't know which channel it will be on, but it is so good. I told him I'm going to print it out and frame it and put it in my office. But we just have some exceptional people, and if you want more content, more in-depth information, I invite you to come over to Patreon. You really should. I mean, if you're interested in preparedness, you should come over there. It's $1 a month, and the link is down below, and we'd love to have you. But today, afterwards, I put up something yesterday on the Patreon about nomads. You know, nomads after SHTF. What are the chances on that? Today, I'm going to be covering vehicles, pickups or SUVs, over on which is better, and that'll be over on the Patreon channel. Before we get into Jackson Masters, a couple of great things. Though I got back and found that the new shipment of books had gotten in. Some of you have been waiting. I know, a couple of weeks, because we ran out of books, and those will be going out today. So if you're frothing at the mouth for the latest book, they'll be here. And while I was out of town, the shipment did arrive, so I'm going to spend today doing that. These books. Somebody said, Steve, why don't you hold them up individually? I never thought about that because I'm not very good at this, but this is the Stonemont series, my series of books about, preparedness and survival. It's a series of novels, and I tell people I can make videos for 20 years and never cover a percentage of the things I've already covered in depth in these books. And people have been learning from these books since 2017. Thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people all over the world. And you can get them through Amazon. You can get them through Amazon if you'd like to. The link is down below. Or you can get them directly from me and through my website. And that's stonemont.us. STONEMONT.us. Not .com, .us, because I like US. And you can get them through there. Now the first one, so if you want to see what they are individually, the first one came out in 2017, and it is the reversion. Let's see if I can do this like a spokesmodel. The reversion is the first one. The second one is the revival. The third one, no, did I get that wrong? No, the second one, I had them out of order. The second one is the revival. See, you can tell by the number of stars there, right? And the title, but I did it wrong. The third one is the renewal. The fourth one is an appeal to heaven. And those of you who know your colonial American history know what that refers to. The third is the blessings of freedom. And did I say, am I going backwards? The fifth? Did I say the fifth? I don't know. It's early in the morning. I haven't had all my first cup of coffee. So the fifth one is the blessings of freedom, and the sixth one, the latest one, is hostages to fortune, from a great quote by Francis Bacon, and then also the Stonemont notebook, which I just use the heck out of. I keep all my notes in there and everything. All of those are available through the stonemont.us website, and if you get it through the website, I I get to autograph them for you and write a little message in there, either one that I like or one that you want me to, whatever you want. So those are in, and I'll be getting those out to those of you who have been patiently waiting, in some cases impatiently waiting. I understand that. Another thing that came in, my brother stayed over here while I was gone, keep an eye on things. My peaches came in. The peaches, tell me that's not beautiful. Okay, the peaches are coming in, the apples are coming in, the pears are just exploding. I got more tomatoes. My daughter and I are going to spend today making tomato sauce for dinner tonight. And what else? Everything, peppers, everything out there is just coming in like, can't imagine. This thing looks good. I had one last night, and this is better. We picked up, as I think I told y'all, we picked up a bunch of peaches down in Nashville from the peach truck, and Georgia peaches. Mine are better. They're not quite as big, but they are better. And the reason that they aren't as big is because I don't thin them. I used to thin them like everybody else. I don't anymore. I think you get about the same amount, when you don't thin them as when you do thin them. They're a little bit smaller when you don't thin them, but I got more peaches, and mine taste better. I'll be honest with you. Okay, Jacks or Masters? Which are you? I would venture to. Now we have some real experts out there. We have some real experts over on Patreon. And we have some on YouTube, I think, too. But over on Patreon, they get to express themselves at length, and they put long things in the community section. Although many people who are masters consider themselves jacks. Interestingly enough, a lot of jacks consider themselves masters, right? Anyway, what's the thing here? We know that preparedness is something that is so multifaceted and multidimensional that it takes it has a lot of moving parts, right? You can talk about the basics about food, water, protection, shelter, and people, but within each of those categories is just a myriad of different aspects themselves. And the ones, you've known people who just seem to be able to do a little bit of everything, right? And then you've seen some people who know a lot about one thing and are just not really up to speed on much else, right? They are so consumed with one thing. Well, which is better? And I'm going to maintain that it's good to have both in a group. Okay, if you've read my books, you see how, as a result of a family being prepared, they were able not only to survive very well, but to live very well. As I say in my tagline, prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. I'm not interested in just scraping by. I want to live well, just like I want to live well now. But as a result of their preparedness, they were able to continue to live well and then help other people. And from that dynamic, a community started to form, and then that community brought in people with many other skills and which was necessary for the building of the community. And within that group also there were some people, a couple of engineers and people with military and police backgrounds and things like that, who were able to bring their skills to the soup, and make it all work very effectively. We have, within, and this might go off into, I have something else written down on my list of videos to make, and that is prejudice in preparedness. And I do see a lot of that. I do see a lot. And that, I was reminded of something that happened in Chattanooga that brought that to mind. I don't know if I'll get into that here or not. If not, it'll be a separate video. Just like life itself, preparedness takes a lot of skills, a lot of knowledge. Now, it doesn't necessarily take deep knowledge, okay, in a lot of things. I mean, those of you who are parents or grandparents know that, we weren't expert child psychologists. We weren't doctors or nurses, but we were able to raise kids. We were able to counsel our kids. We were able to teach our kids. We were able to patch up their boo-boos, We weren't excellent, expert bicycle mechanics, but we were able to fix a couple of things, put the chain back on, patch a tire, things like that. And life itself, and even, around the house or the homestead or the ranch or the farm, wherever you are, there are a lot of things that are necessary to do. That it doesn't take the very top level of knowledge and ability to accomplish, right? And it's the same with preparedness. The people that I think are most prepared are those with a broad base of skills and knowledge. Now, skills is when you apply knowledge, right? I mean, you have knowledge, you learn something, and then you don't have the skill yet, but you apply it. As you apply it, first off screwing up a little bit, right? And then getting better and better, and finally it develops into a skill. And the more of the wider and deeper your knowledge base, good. The wider and deeper your skill base, good. But there is a limit beyond which most people don't go, having satisfied the depth that's required on a daily basis. Okay, I've got it down. I can paint my house. I can plant my garden. I'm not a master gardener, but my garden's putting out more food than I can eat. So, you see what I mean? I mean, that's I don't know every little pest that can attack all my plants. I don't know all the things to use to defend against those pests, but still, my garden produces more than I can eat. So I would call that success. Okay. Now there are master gardeners out there, and I talk about master gardeners in my books. And we do have a master gardener in our group, which I'm fortunate. I mean, she knows stuff that I will never know, and I don't try to know because I don't have time and I have other things to do. But I'm still able to produce, and it goes down into all other areas. Not everybody is a tier 1 operator. I'm going to stay off of that. But we have some people who are capable in that area. I don't have any brain surgeons in our group, but we have some excellent nurses and doctors. Okay, so they're able to accomplish the vast majority of those tasks that will ever be presented to you. Now, there are then those people whose mindset, whose intellect, whose interests drive them deeply into one area or another, and their knowledge of those areas is just astounding. I mean, it's like me and ham radio. I know nothing. The most I know about a radio is how to turn it on in my Yukon. I mean, I just don't have an interest in it. And yet we have some of our people over on Patreon, some hams over there that, I mean, they write stuff that sounds very interesting to me. It'd probably sound more interesting if I understood it. But their knowledge base is very deep. Probably most of them would not consider themselves experts. Many experts, if you'll notice, don't consider themselves experts, because when you get to a certain point to where finally so much, you also know how much more there is that you don't know. Okay, it's the Dunning-Kruger effect, that those who know very little think they know it all, and those who know a lot tend to minimize their knowledge. Well, that's true. It's true in life. It's true in preparedness. I will skate a little bit about. So I think that being a jack of all trades is much better than being an expert in one area, because there are so many areas that if you're focused too much on one, you are going to be sorely disappointed if you have to try to handle other areas, and some of those can be very important, can be life-threatening. I'll touch just a little bit on prejudice here. or maybe I shouldn't, because that's really a whole. And there is a lot of prejudice, and I don't mean racial prejudice. It was a situation that happened to Kelly and I in Chattanooga some years ago that made me think of this, and that was a racial prejudice against us and some other people. But it made me think, and I've seen this in many areas, but there is a prejudice in the preparedness community that I see. And I think it's very dangerous. And just like any prejudice, it doesn't really hurt the person against whom it's directed. It hurts the person who holds it. And I want to talk about that, because I think that can be very helpful, but I'm going to save that, because I feel raindrops hitting my hat, and I hear the thunder. You hear the thunder too, right? So anyway, I just thought that I'd let you know I'm back. Be a jack. Be a jack of as many trades as you can be. Know a little bit about a lot. And then, find some people that know a lot about those things that, you can go deeper and deeper and deeper in. But everybody's valuable and everybody's important. So anyway, I'm back. Books are here. I'm going to be signing those books today and getting those in the mail to you. Again, the Stonemont series, the Reversion, the Revival, the Renewal, and Appeal to Heaven, the Blessings of Freedom, Hostages to Fortune, and the Notebook, which is cool. Either through Amazon, links down below, or through my website, stonemont.us, links down below. Stonemont mugs will be out soon. I'm probably going to give the final okay this week. I don't. We'll see. I have a lot going on. We will see, but they're beautiful. I love them, and I have a whole line of mugs coming out for American Reversion. And I'm going to eat my peach, and go in and have a big breakfast after I eat my peach, and then make another video for the Patreon folks on pickups or SUVs. Which do I prefer and why? So you all have a good day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. And get out there and do something today. Improve one of your trades. Improve your jackdom of a trade, or maybe learn something else, and it will improve your odds of living better in the future when it all comes down. You all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.